It's a blessing to be able to fight here. I'm ready to put on a show, look good doing it, beat him up, Ricky.
This weekend, Jaron Ennis was going to fight in Philadelphia, which is where he grew up.
He deserved a title shot. He deserved it all, but, his time will come. But right now, business is business.
Spence-Crawford was a strange sight at the press meeting, where he got into a fight with Jaron Ennis. Let's take a look.
Mandatory. He's calling you out now.
Right now in my career, a lot of people like...
World winner Jaron Boots has never lost a fight. He will fight David Avanesyan on July 13th at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Incomings recently, even Subriel Matias the other week didn't work out for him. Reaches pro.
The IBF welterweight title is on the line in the 12-round main event fight between these two fighters.
Technical talents that he has learned under his
Ennis, who has won all 31 of his fights, including 28 by knockout, showed up at the final pre-fight news conference to fight in his home ring for the first time. The Pennsylvania native, who is 27 years old, told his fans that he would put on a beautiful show. Jaron Ennis has a new opponent in David Avanesyan, after Cody Crowley backed out of their fight.
two older brothers. Posey Dungeon takes center stage on
Welterweight champion of the International Boxing Federation hopes the same will happen in front of his family and friends in Philadelphia. Boots was named full-time champion after Spence-Crawford lost the belt a few months after beating Errol Spence Jr. to become the undisputed welterweight champion.
at Wells Fargo Center.
The two-time Golden Gloves medalist comes home for the first time since 2018, headlining a Philadelphia-held fight for the first time. Avanesyan replaced Cody Crowley, who received eye surgery.
Home to New Orleans, couldn't quite get the performance. Do you expect to thrive under this kind of atmosphere?
The interim World Boxing Association and ABF and European welterweight gold winner, who has twice failed to secure the world title gold.
Home, there is pressures, everybody you know, but you just believe another fight and another.
It's a blessing to be able to fight here, and I'm ready to put on a show and look good doing it. Jaron Ennis said beat him up, break him down, get the hold, and had my wife fun. I feel that I'm going to grow here and put on a beautiful show. I'm fighting at home, I'm comfortable. I'm on the couch with my feet up, so it's going to be a great show.
Most definitely, I feel like I'm going to thrive here. I'm gonna have my fun. I'm putting on a beautiful show.
The opponents, which doesn't really mean anything to me. We have southpaws and orthodox in camp pressure fighters. We do everything, we're standing on business. I'm not going to go in there looking for the finish, but I'm going to have my fun, put on a show, but I'll let the knockout come to me. It's going to be turned up in here, fireworks. It's going to be lit up, and I'm excited. You are going to see a beautiful show, and I'm going to show the world and the 147 pounds class that I am the best.
The switch of opponents, Cody Crowley, a little bit of an unknown southpaw. The worry was that he would come in this kind of environment.
Avanesyan, who has 30 wins, 4 draws, and a loss, including 18 knockout wins, makes his third try to become world champion in December 2022. The 35-year-old Armenian contender fought Spence-Crawford for the World Boxing Organization welterweight title, but was stopped in the 6th round.
Under that kind of pressure. Not this man, we don't expect him to do that. We know he's a true fighter.
In February 2017, the former World Boxing Association interim 147-pound title holder faced Lamont Peterson in a fight with the full belt on the line. It dropped a unanimous decision. I believe why I am here. God has given me the chance. David Avanesyan said, I know he's a good fighter, but I'm happy that he is. I only want to fight good boxers, that's why I am here.
Exactly.
The switch don't really mean nothing to me,
I fought Crawford, but that's history, people that know boxing know me. I've had many big fights. This is another good fight, and a great chance for me, and I will give everything. Interestingly, it was the same Spence-Crawford who stole the show after he appeared at the press conference immediately after it was over and ran into Jaron Ennis.
We have southpaws and orthodox and camp pressure fighters, boxers. We do everything. We have every type of opponent, that can resemble an opponent.
There were enough people to separate them. They couldn't stop the war of words as both boxers kept throwing verbal punches at each other before Spence-Crawford made his way out. The feud between Spence-Crawford and Jaron Ennis began when Spence-Crawford was about fighting Errol Spence. Although Spence-Crawford, being the winner of the undisputed welterweight title fight against Errol Spence Jr., undoubtedly became the top dog at 147 pounds, and he was expected to overcome another challenge to his supremacy from Jaron "Boots" Ennis.
I always said Boots was a great talent. I always told everybody that I supported them. I've been.
Other hand, Ennis maintained his International Boxing Federation interim world title in extremely impressive fashion against Rami Villa, becoming the first man to stop the game Colombian at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City following the victory. Ennis made no secret of the fact that he wanted the winner of Spence vs. Crawford next 10 stated he would be in attendance in Las Vegas on July 29th.
Said he remind them so much of me, but seeing him, you know, I kind of see myself in him, and yes, he.
And when asked by Fight Hype about the possibility of a future showdown with Boots, Crawford was full of praise for the 26-year-old, then told him his time will come. I always said that Boots are a great talent, and I've always told everybody that I back him. I've been backing him since he was in the amateurs, and he was fighting Gary Russell. I always backed him because they said he reminded them so much of me.
Got him down.
But seeing him, I see myself in him. And yes, he deserves a title shot, and he deserves it. All his time will come, but right now, business is business. And when Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. fought, Terence Crawford made history, becoming the first unified welterweight champion in the history of the four major belt era at the 9th round technical knockout win over Errol Spence Jr. last year.
Whose arrow this is? Will it be Errol?
Crawford added Spence's World Boxing Association, World Boxing Council, and International Boxing Federation titles to his own World Boxing Organization and crown. The knockout victory marked Crawford's 11th straight finish, with 9 of them now coming in the 6th round or later. This, however, was the most impressive of them all, as Crawford put on a boxing masterclass to practically control the fight from the moment he dropped Spence in the 2nd round.
Junior's arrow, or will it be Terence Bud Crawford?
Crawford finished the fight, landing a stunning 60% of his tower shots and 42% of his jabs. His 87 landed jabs were the most by a single opponent.
Favors Spence. Back comes Crawford with the jab. Down goes Spence.
The fight started with Spence dictating terms and pressuring early, while Crawford cautiously and cleverly sat back, picking his moments to counter like he did late in the 1st round, while there were no major moments for either our fighter. Spence overreached on one occasion, and Crawford was quick to counter with a strong left hand. It was just a taste of the kind of chess match that was expected in the early rounds, with Crawford known as more of an intentional slow starter and Spence likelier to try to set the pace.
That's a dude I need to fight, maybe after the rematch.
Spence was able to do just that some more in the 2nd with a mix of his movement, consistent jab, and relentless pressure causing problems. But a straight left power jab from Crawford saw Spence suddenly drop for the first time in his career in the final moments of the 2nd round.
He said Boots was a great talent. All right, so
Crawford's power started to really show in the 4th round as a big overhand left-hand series of brutal jabs hit and hurt Spence, continuing an incredible start for the 35-year-old.
There's a big left by Crawford, backing up Spence, and digging to the body. Spence is hurt. Spence is hurt, so Floyd might be able to tell us he's stumbling.
That carried over into the 5th too, with Crawford once again backing Spence up with his accurate speed and textbook counterpunching.
He's been hit, move up after this fight because he's from a litany of angles. And here comes Spence though as Crawford, and down goes Spence for the...
In the end, it was a question of when and not if the fight would end, with Crawford dropping Spence another 2 times before sealing a TKO win in the 9th round. Regardless of there are similarities, Ennis is determined to show that he's a few notches above him.
Time in the fight, and Spence is hurt. The 7th. A big shot! Down goes Spence for the 3rd time in the fight at the end.
While his International Boxing Federation interim title has him slotted as Crawford's #1 rival, the pound-for-pound star appears to be ready to hand his body where Pre-Van search for new challenges. Shortly after suffering the first loss of his career, Spence revealed that he fully plans on triggering his immediate rematch clause.
That he put in front of me. Everybody be talking too much. Like, just shut up and rumble.
Big fight coming up, July 13th.
Yeah.
How excited are you for that?
Also, in addition to his plans to run things back, Spence is hoping that their rematch will take place at 154 pounds, with Crawford taking home the first win. He's in the driver's seat in terms of which weight division they'll fight in going forward.
It's a blessing, you know, and I can't wait. I'm ready to put on a beautiful show. This is the first, real fight at the Wells Fargo Center, so it's history, so I can't.
Crawford, as he sat down on his undisputed throne, didn't have any qualms about Spence's suggestions, saying that his recent weight cut was a difficult one. News of Crawford possibly abandoning his newly won titles and planting his flag at 154 pounds left Ennis was a bit vexed in a recent chat with popular podcaster Wallow. Ennis expressed to him that he hopes Crawford will have a change of heart and stay put. "He was a walking sufferer," said Ennis through text message. "Stay at 47 so we can get moving."
So then that's a yes then. If you go up to 154, you definitely want that Crawford.
Crawford's team went nearly the full length of the 30-day negotiation time before informing the International Boxing Federation of its commitment to a second fight with Spence.
I want to show the world and prove that I, show my skills and my ability, whatever he think he could do, I could do better, smart, I'm sharp,
Sanctioning bodies generally do not respect rematch clauses as a justifiable exception for mandatory title fights. International Boxing Federation Rule 3B in fact prohibits the practice that no contract for a title contest shall contain any clause or any provision whatsoever guaranteeing or in any way assuring or promising either contestant an ante a return. Championship contests where such clause or provision interferes with the required defense of a title. Most big fights tend to violate that rule. Crawford Spence falls right into that category.
What we know?
I know everything.
I don't know nothing. I'm trying to find out what I know. Enlighten me.
A risk that Crawford was willing to take to secure a career-defining win and a life-changing health. The 8-figure payday to go along with it. Based on the foregoing, the IBF has removed recognition of Terence Crawford as the IBF welterweight world champion. The IBF Ennis won the interim IBF title in a 12-round unanimous decision win over Karen Chayden on January 7th in Washington, D.C.
You jumped up out of my sanction body to go.
The IBF agreed to sanction the fight under such terms given that Ennis, as the mandatory challenger at the time, did not have a path to instantly challenge for the title. Spence was told at the time to next face WBC mandatory challenger Keith Th. Thurman. The governing bodies are bound to a rotational system for unified tit lists, which left the WBA and IBF in waiting. The WBA already accepted Amantas Stenonis as its secondary regular title holder and ordered his own mandatory title defense.
IBF, so what I know?
What you mean?
What you mean what I mean? Would you rank that?
Ennis was permitted to challenge for the interim IBF title, which he since defended in a 9th-round knockout of Roman Villa at 2 of July 9 Showtime. Championship Boxing telecast from Atlantic City. The fight came with the official ruling that he would next challenge the Crawford-Spence winner, at least from the IBF's viewpoint.
Fair or not?
It don't even matter.
All right, catch up, little homie. Catch.
There was previous bickering about the weight in terms of such a fight. Spence noted after his first career loss that he planned to move up in weight, to which Crawford was initially amenable immediately after their fight. However, Crawford, who reserves the right to decide the weight per their contractual agreement, has since stated a desire to fight at welterweight. Whatever the case, he is now on the hook to either continue with that fight or resume his welterweight championship reign, which now comes with one less title in tow.
Don't matter, catch up.
Yo, he picked Avanesyan.
Catch up.
Avanesyan was away.
Ennis will have to make a mandatory defense at some time. Whenever the IBF is able to determine such a challenger, the unbeaten rising star will be allowed a voluntary defense. In the meantime, in an interview, Crawford gave his own reaction to what happened and how he felt about his title loss and the situations around it. Shockingly, he claimed he was unbothered.
Just say it don't matter. Catch up. I'm talking about before that.
He not about it. We already.
Crawford was asked what he had to say regarding getting stripped by the International Boxing Federation, and he said, "I'm not mad at him. I got what I needed, and that was uncontested, and the rest is history. I don't care about any of that." When asked if he was upset about getting stripped, he replied, claiming he wasn't saying,
I already know you're not about what he's talking about.
I'm not about what? I'm not about what?
You don't.
"Not at all. Like I said, I came into that fight looking to become undefeated. I became unchallenged, so there's nothing there for me to accomplish at that point in time. I did what I said I was going to do. I came, I saw, I won, and it's on to the next." He was also asked about how he felt about being stripped so quickly after winning the belt when Spence was apparently afforded allowances.
You said I'm not about what?
You don't want to fight.
Man, go to sleep.
It is what it is. They pick and choose who they want to grant certain things to, and if they were going to do something like that, I feel like they should have stripped Spence prior to the fight, given that they knew it was a 2-fight deal going into the fight. So who knows? They knew I couldn't just get out of my contract with Spence to fight Boots. So it is what it is.
Go to sleep.
Go ahead.
You dreaming, man. You talking in your dreams, man.
Fight.
He was finally asked what he had to say about Boots' championship position and if it was a shame for Boots not to be able to win the full title in the ring. He said, "Yeah, I know that's not ideal how he wanted to win it. I know he's disappointed that he couldn't win it from a champion and stuff. It's upsetting for him, but if I were him, I would just tell them why I want to fight for it. I'd rather fight the number 3 guy. If I couldn't get the other guy, don't send me a belt in the mail.
What we know? I don't know nothing. I'm trying to find out what I know. Enlighten me.
What you mean enlighten you? You fought the Avanesyan, you could fought me.
You jumped up out of my sanction body to go fight in the IBF. So what I know?
What you mean?
What you mean? What I mean? Would you rank that?
But it just seems like everybody is cool with being emo champions now and stuff just to be called world champion. He got 3 belts. He got like 2 temporary belts. And now they're going to send him another belt so he'll have 3 of the same belts.
Wait, you know, to where we say, oh man, he's cold, he's skillful, but he's never been in the ring with nobody to test him. Me fighting boobs, not a mega fight. I'm looking for a big challenge.
However, in a sad turn of events for Terence Crawford, well, he lost his belt as a result of the rematch clause with Errol Spence Jr. The rematch was eventually cancelled as it was announced early this year that Terence Crawford will not be fighting Errol Spence Jr. for a second time following injury and i.e. surgery. Revelations regarding his opponent, but as Terence Crawford is fondly called, he's done with Spence after Errol exposed the truth. Spence admitted he went under the knife for cataracts. In his statement, Terence Crawford said,
Away from boots. Where I am at in my career right now, on my ass, I'll get to where I am. And I deserve to do whatever the fuck I want.
I heard it all now. Errol Spence, it's okay though, because all in all, I'm glad it's over and done with. I wish you well, my brother. Renowned pugilists Jaron Ennis and David Avanesyan participated in an electrifying final press conference, generating immense excitement ahead of their eagerly awaited fight. The rivals, both showing commendable skill and spirit, spared no effort in promising a thrilling match, leaving fans and pundits intrigued. In the blue corner, rising welterweight contender Jaron Ennis has been lighting up the division with his quicksilver speed and knockout power, with a remarkable career record of 27 wins and no losses. Ennis has established himself as a future icon. The Philadelphia native is eager to show his dominance in the ring once again, this time against the seasoned David Avanesyan. David Avanesyan, on the other hand, is the European welterweight champion and no stranger to competition. The Russian boxer's experience, having a professional record of 26 wins and 3 losses, is his best gear. His resilience coupled with his formidable hand speed makes him a tough opponent for even the best in the division. We're both warriors, and this will be a war, said Ennis during the intense face-off at the press conference, showing the high stakes this fight holds for both athletes. His frosty glance towards Avanesyan was an expression of his steely assault. The Jaron Ennis vs. David Avanesyan final press conference was brimming with charged energy as both athletes answered questions regarding strategies, motivations, and expectations while exhibiting mutual professional respect. Neither was shy to show their confidence in triumphing over the other. The conference was also a chance for both fighters to highlight their training regimen leading up to this colossal event.
Standing on business.
That you'll stop this man.
They spoke about relentless exercises, trusting their corners, and keeping physical and mental agility. They acknowledged the enormity of the event but reiterated the importance of keeping their emotions in check and focusing on the job ahead. The confidence exuded by both fighters during their face-off show they were in top form, fueling the anticipation for this highly awaited bout.
Most definitely. I'm not gonna look for it. I'm gonna go in there and have my fun and put on a show.
The hostility in the air was evident as they traded fierce glances, all indicative of what promises to be an absolute firecracker of a match. Not just fans, but the entire boxing world has been buzzing with speculation around the match. Experts are expecting a close fight given the unique strengths each brings to the table. Ennis with his raw power and Avanesyan with his invaluable leg experience. As the press conference drew to a close, both fighters reassured their fans with firm expressions and unwavering claims of victory. "You're going to see a hell of a show," promised Ennis, while Avanesyan declared, "I'd met strong competitors before I'm ready."
The noise, the energy, the whole city here for you on Saturday night. It's a massive.
The Jaron Ennis vs. David Avanesyan face-off at the conference was a precursor to what awaits in the ring, a fantastic show of skill, strength, and strategy.
It's gonna be turned up. It's gonna be like powerhouse. It's a concert.
Between Ennis' unscathed record and Avanesyan's seasoned resilience, it's all set to be a match that could redefine a welterweight scene like.
Really across the area, it's gonna be something like the powerhouse. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like lit up. It's gonna be fireworks. You know, I'm excited.
And no pressure on you to perform.
Coming off their showdown at the press conference, there's no doubt that both fighters will step into the ring with fierce determination, leaving no stone unturned to achieve victory. Without a doubt, the stage is set for an epic welterweight battle between two exceptional fighters who are at the top of their game. Then bell can't ring soon enough, and that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.